my wife, she is a medium and she does readings, and I don't know if you'd be interested because you had lost your dad and this might be a way to heal. And I immediately said yes, which surprised him.
You're alone again. I shouldn't be thinking of you, thinking of me. I know.
Greetings, everyone. This is Mike from Daily Bread, or if you're finding me on Instagram, it's Your Daily Bread, which is my handle. This is my podcast where I randomly make episodes and talk about things that are going on in my life. And today, it's been a hot minute since I've done an episode, but I went for a long walk during this pandemic, and I thought that I should record something because this is a time to create some stuff and use this time wisely because people are getting a bit freaked out and they're losing their minds or they're not really finding new things to do, and the simple thing you can do is just find stuff to create. And since I'm a person who loves doing that, I decided to record an episode, and I don't really know 100% what I'm going to talk about, even though the title of this will say something. um, I believe it's going to be about the experience I had the other day, which was really positive. It was amazing. I ended up, a buddy of mine reached out to me. Actually, I guess I know exactly what I'm going to talk about. But a buddy of mine reached out to me a while ago. We've known each other for a hot minute. I guess that's a phrase I like to use. A few years back, which I've done an episode about, talking about my divorce and selling everything and traveling around the country, I ended up meeting this friend. And when I moved to Raleigh, he ended up living here for a minute. And we were talking about life, and I told him about the situation I was going through and how I had traveled, and I was just really stuck on being I wasn't really sure what to do with my life, or I wasn't sure how to get over being mad at my divorce. So my friend had suggested something to go check out, and I did it. And from that point, I got over my anger, and since then we've kept in touch. He moved out of Raleigh, and we hit each other up here and there. We text or email, and the other day we reconnected because it's been a couple months, and he texted me and said, "Hey, I just want to let you know that if you're interested, my wife, she is a medium and she does readings, and I don't know if you'd be interested because you had lost your dad and this might be a way to heal." And I immediately said yes, which surprised him. And he said, "Wow, he's like, I usually get a little bit of pushback." And I was like, "Oh no, man, I'm totally down with this because why not?" I think it's funny that that people in general just have life figured out. Like, this is what it is. It's having a job and getting married and buying furniture from IKEA, and Friday night's pizza night, and Sunday is the Sunday scaries, and Monday through Friday you work, and that's it, and there's nothing else going on. And I'm the kind of person who, when there's something to experience, something like that to experience, I'm usually down for it. Even though there's other experiences where if someone's like, let's go away for a weekend and buy plane tickets and fly somewhere, I'm usually like, fuck that shit. So I still have things to work on. But I had a conversation with his wife, and we set up a time to talk, and we got on the phone for about an hour and a half, and I didn't really know what to expect. I've done something like this before when I was younger. My mom, she used to go to someone who would do like readings, and I was just very intrigued by that, and I had like my reading done one time as a kid, and it was cool. It was all right. And a friend of mine, she's got a bit of a third eye, so she sometimes will sense things, and so it's like I've had certain things happen through life that I've kind of gone through something like this, but this was the first time in a long time where it was just dedicated to a time to talk about that stuff. And so we sat down and talked for an hour and a half, and I think my grandmothers had come through and they had some advice and they had some things they were trying to say, and some things didn't connect and some things did, but I'm still trying to figure out what those things are. So I'm actually gonna have a video chat with my sisters tonight and tell them the whole experience. But then my dad had come through. It was interesting because last time I saw him was when he was in the ICU, and I was saying my goodbye after they pulled the plug, and we all had our moment to sit next to him in his bed and say our goodbyes, and it was pretty intense and gnarly. And then to have this happen, where this was the first time that I had been connected to him, and you can believe what you want. You can believe it's bullshit. You can believe it's not bullshit. I just choose to believe that it was real. So it was interesting the feedback, because the feedback I was getting was very specific to my life now. And one of the things that he wanted to talk about was my current dating situation, or choosing, because she had said to me, she goes, have you been single for a while? And I said, yeah. And she said, it sounds like you are really trying, how'd she put it? It was like, you're really trying to not date anybody. And I laughed because I've been very against dating, even though sometimes I'll get on dating apps and I'll immediately delete them off my phone, because it's the moment I connect with someone, I'm like, oh God, this could be potentially something. I don't want this to be anything, and I will delete it. And it was interesting having this conversation about that was the thing that was being pointed out to me, and the message was, it's okay to not be with someone, but if you want to be open to be with someone, then that's also okay. So it wasn't like, I liked it because it wasn't telling me that, it wasn't giving me kind of, fatherly advice from the other side that I should go and do something, or I should go and date someone, because it is something that's been top of mind, but it's been 6 years since I got divorced or got separated. And then I dated someone for about 7 months, and I talked about her in an episode, and we just didn't work out. And she's married now, and she's a beautiful person, and I'm very, very happy for her. But I haven't dated someone since January 2018, and I think the last time I actually went on like a date was December of 2018. So it's been a hot minute since I've even gotten drinks with someone. And I'm like okay with that. And as I'm getting older, I mean, I'm 40, I'm about to turn 41 in May, which is going to be an amazing birthday since I can't do shit. But I don't have this urge to be in a serious relationship, because there's a lot of baggage that I have. I don't say baggage, but a lot of stuff that was left over from being married and being with someone who I thought I was going to be with forever, and then all of a sudden having that person just turn on you out of nowhere and just not like you, and really just want to get away from you because they just fell out of love with you, and it's almost, you're like a burden to them. And I don't know if I ever want to go through that again. So there's a couple of things I've thought about. As one, yes, I don't want to do that. And never want to go through that again, because it was beyond the worst thing besides my dad dying that I'd ever witnessed or had happen. So it's either I can be single for the rest of my life, and then I'm in my 80s or 90s if I make it that long, and then I'm by myself, and I'm old and alone, and there's no holidays, and it's sad and lonely and blah. And so I'm thinking of my 80-year-old self, or my older self, looking back and being like, dude, thanks for this shit. This sucks. Or that person might really like being alone, because I genuinely like being alone, especially right now. I mean, I have friends who have kids and they're married, and a lot of people are seeing posts that they are trying to get away from not trying to get away from their families, but they're not super stoked that they're home all the fucking time, because everyone needs their space. And I'm here in my like 900 square foot apartment, or 800, whatever, how big it is, but by myself, and I'm enjoying it. I don't have to fend for anyone else. I'm fending for myself and just getting by, and I don't feel bad about that. But there's parts that when I was younger, I really loved the idea of a relationship. I liked the idea of love. I liked the idea of just being someone's thing. Um, and I lost that after I got divorced. Like, I don't have that urge to want to love somebody or be their support. And it sometimes it doesn't bother me. Sometimes I think about it because I used to really want that. And I think because I've gone through three relationships that ended or just ended poorly or just, yeah, it just ended poorly. I just think like I almost think we're sold a bullshit bill of goods, if that's like the proper term. I almost think it's crap. I don't think I believe in it anymore. But there's a part of me that does. There's a part of me that believes that I could meet someone and we can be great and hit it off and everything across the board is amazing and we grow and we learn from each other and we have a very healthy relationship, which I thought I did in my marriage. But I think the thing I want more is to find someone that who like opens and expresses what their fears are, their deepest, darkest secrets are, or just this new level of stuff where you can develop together and just try new things across the board with each other. And so that seems intriguing to me. Like that'd be amazing to have a relationship like that. But there's a part of me that thinks it exists, and there's a part of me that's like, I don't know if I want to put the effort into trying to find out if it exists. So it's interesting that I'm talking to wrap it around to this person who's connected to talking to people who have passed over. And my dad's giving me this advice of, yeah, you can go for it or you don't have to, which is funny because he had been through two marriage. He was in a second marriage, but his first marriage was with my mom, and they got divorced, and he never talked to her ever again after that. And he would never say why, but he was a very stubborn dude. He was a great guy and very caring, but he was also very, very stubborn, like I am. And he just never wanted to talk to her, and he never spoke to her even up to the day he died. And then he was in a second marriage, and that was that was a thing. And I just never got the sense that he was totally thrilled. And so I don't know. I don't know. I I'm just stuck, and that's just probably very apparent. But it was interesting to have this conversation with someone who was telling me that he was like, yeah, it's okay to not have to be with someone. But my main focus in life isn't finding someone, where typically it used to be career and then being in love. And actually, when I was little, it wasn't career. It was like that was like playing in a punk band and being in love or being in a relationship and writing songs about it. And that was a big chunk. And it's almost if you have this scale of like 0 to 100, the relationship part would be about, or like, yeah, like 0%, 100%. And the bar would be like 95% wanting to be in a relationship. And now that bar is like maybe 2%, like legit 2%. And people always say, oh, well, when you're not looking, that's when it comes to you. But I was like, no, I really think that the universe is listening to me. It's like, oh, no, this guy really doesn't want to be in a relationship. So let's not give him one because I like really don't want to be in one unless it was great. Again, I could publish this thing and like whenever I'm gonna publish it, and the next day or that day or a minute after I do it, I can meet someone and I could probably be like, oh wow, this is great. So I'm open to it. I'm just not looking for it, I guess is the very long-winded way to say after talking about this for about 13 minutes. But that's just, I don't know, that's just what I wanted to share. And it sucks because a couple weeks ago, I'm in this Facebook group. It's this punk rock group about the North Jersey punk scene, and there was this 3 hour long concert that my buddy Jay put together, and everyone had a 20-minute set, and there was 8 people playing. And I just remember, and as I'm watching this, it brought me back to 20 years ago when I was 20, and it reminded me of when I cared about that. So as I'm listening to these bands play, I like traveled back in time and almost felt that way that I felt as that younger version of me, where I was so into falling in love and so into just wanting to be that thing for somebody. And it it kind of cracked open the door a little bit to, oh man, I remember that. Maybe I missed that. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. So maybe I will find someone, and maybe I don't care. But for now, it's not something I need to do, and I definitely don't feel that I need to have someone around me even during this whole lockdown thing that we're all going through. So, that's what I wanted to share today. Um, I'm outside of that, just I don't know. If you hope I'm glad or happy if you're checking out my comic, and I found out that I can make face masks during this whole thing, which is I don't feel bad about selling them. I also sell them for 17 bucks, but I make $2 profit because I sell them on demand. So people are like, "Why are they so expensive?" I'm like, "Because I make $2, so fuck it." But a buddy of mine, he was telling me he was conflicted because he wanted to make face masks, and he said, "I don't know if it's right to sell them." I said, "Sure it is, and just balance it just balance it with things that you're giving away." So what I've been doing recently is trying to tip more and support local and just donate here and there. And then there's a local food cubby on a corner in Raleigh that's just this, like I said, a little cubby, and it says just leave things for people who in need. And I saw the other day that people were just leaving like pinto beans and shit like that. I'm like, the fuck wants that? So I was like, let me get some fun stuff. So I went to Trader Joe's and got like peanut butter and fun cereal. And what else did I get? Like other just things that people would be excited about having. So, and I think I spent like 35 bucks. So I think that if you want to start feeling less shitty about your situation, go do that. Find something local and just spend a buck, spend $5, spend 30 bucks, spend $100. Just spend something, and it's gonna make you feel a lot better during this crap. And the face masks, yeah. So I don't really feel bad selling them because I'm hopefully balancing my goodness or my good deeds. That's it. Hopefully I start doing more of these, but who knows? It might be another couple months before I do the next one. But sometimes I'm feeling that creative itch. Yeah. Feel free to share this with someone who might be thinking that they need a relationship or they're feeling bad that they don't want one, and then tell them that I said it's okay. Okay. Goodbye.